few weeks ago, I went into my cabinet for some sugar, and I discovered that the little spoon that lives in there with the sugar, don't judge me, has become quite a bit shinier than its siblings. Had the sugar polished this spoon? You see where this is going. I built a tumble polisher. I wanted something that I could put together pretty quickly and easily to test out this apparent sugar polishing, and a tumble polisher seemed like just the thing. It works by taking a cylinder of polishing media, laying it on its side, and spinning it. As it rotates, the part tumbles within the polishing media, which I suppose is also tumbling. And I definitely chose this design because it was the best option, not because I noticed I had a chock full of nuts can on the shelf that happened to meet the spinnable cylinder criteria. So I just need something to hold it on its side and spin it. I decided to go with rollers on each side at 45 degrees off the center line. One side driven, the other passive. For the passive side, I just went with some roller skate bearings with printed caps over them. The caps fit into these grooves in the side of the can to constrain it axially, aka keep it from walking its way onto the table and making a mess. But while I wanted these passive rollers to provide the axial constraint for the drum, I didn't want them to define its axis of rotation. I wanted to let the drive side do that. And since I was far too lazy to make the mostly printed parts line up perfectly, I gave the free roller assembly a degree of freedom to allow it to just fall in line with the other side. And I gave it that degree of freedom by adding in this notch flexure here in the mount. That allows the roller pair to pivot about the notch, conforming to whatever axis the drive wheel is set in. I can imagine bad things happening here with a denser polishing medium, so I also designed a rigid version just in case. But I haven't even printed one of those yet. The flexure one's been working out fine for me thus far. Over on the other side of things is the drive drum. The drive drum's printed in PET G, with 3 grooves for adding some adhesive-backed foam. The foam serves double duty, both smoothing out the ride and providing some friction for the drive. But admittedly, the foam's not the best to work with, and I cut them poorly, so I had to add some glue to keep them down. But otherwise, they've worked out well. To keep the drum supported, I put a roller skate bearing at one end and a larger ID bearing on the other. The larger side is to leave plenty of room for the motor interface, although admittedly, I left more room than needed after deciding to just go with directly interfacing with the D-hub on the DC gear motor I'm using. That gear motor and the larger ID bearing both go into a separate bracket to make assembly easier. I wasn't sure what RPM I was going to need, so I went with one of these cheapo DC gear motors that have multiple gear ratio options laying around. I decided to start out with a 200 RPM 24 volt version, and so far I haven't felt a need to swap it out. The ratio of the drive drum to the coffee can circumference is about 2.5 to 1, so that'll act as an additional 2.5 to 1 speed reduction. That gives me about 80 RPM at the tumbler from 200 RPM at the motor. I don't know much about tumble polishing, so that sounds like as good a number as any to me. And speaking of not knowing much about tumble polishing, after about 30 hours of tumbling with this sugar, I'm realizing some basic knowledge of what to expect probably would have been wise. So if you have any pointers, please let me hear them. But while the sugar experiment is still scientifically unresolved, I've actually been pretty happy with the tumbler itself. I even decided to make myself a custom coffee can replacement. I'll link to all the print files down in the description, in case you're an aspiring tumbler, and I'll also link to an article with some more specifics on the design and build details down below. In the meantime, I'll just be over here making powdered sugar.